This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, it's getting recorded now. Yes, great. So yeah, where were we? Yeah, in the IBP, the solution scope inside the supply. Now it's been called as response in supply. Okay. So in the
Okay.
response in supply, there are two things. First is a time series based supply, and then there is one response. This is order based planning. So with this module, you can actually create some orders like a planned order or a stock transport order, a purchase, requisitions basically. So you can create all those orders in the IBP itself. Okay. And then you can also read the order based data. That means the orders that are already created in S4 system or maybe in any other system, whatever the orders are there, you can read them as orders inside this module. But the catch here is that the solution was not yet stable. And if you guys have seen the IBP roadmap, the SAP is wants to stabilize this solution, response planning, and they are trying very hard, and then this is their number one top priority for 2019. So very less implementations that are happening on response, and whatever implementations are happening, SAP is overseeing it, SAP is implementing it. So a lot of glitches on it. So still has doing its thing. So I am aware of the theory part of it, and then I haven't yet configured anything in the response planner. I will very well present you guys what are the functionalities and etc that are there inside the response planning, but we'll focus more on the time series based planning. This is very much stable. In all my three projects, we have done the supply planning, and then we can almost achieve like whatever we want in the supply planning space, obviously with some few limitations, but but yeah, I mean, this is a time series, and we won't see any order here. So the output of these entire time series based supply planning would be just a number for a particular key figure at a particular level. And once we have that value, so when we do an integration, when we are sending it to S4, like for example production receipts, which says that how much to produce on a particular time and for a particular product in a particular location and on a particular bomb, it gives a value like let's say 100. And then when you send it to the and when sorry guys, and when you send it to the S4 system, so you can have your HCI configured in such a way that you will have a BAPI in it, and then that will create the orders. I mean, it will create the planned orders, and then it would be visible for the PPDS planner or PP planner, like based on your solution landscape, system landscape. And then it is up to that particular planner and he'll convert it into a production order, and or he can firm it and etc etc. And when you
Um,
bring it back,
Quick question. So why are we saying it is a time series based planning? Because in APO it's order series, right? So I just want to understand the difference here.
yeah, because in APO we create an order, right? So production
Yeah.
plan, we actually create a planned order.
Yeah. But
But here
are we not saying
here
planned order here?
nope, here it is just a number.
Um, okay, it's again meaning it's a forecast kind of thing. When you say just a number in terms of what?
I mean, like production plan is 100 for a particular week, and you have to take that 100, maybe convert, create 10 orders, and every order has 10 quantities in it, and then seven orders on every day. That that generation of order will be done in the order in the execution system in the S4. But IBP will just say that on this week just produce 100.
Okay.
So what you're
And
saying, sorry, we don't create any plant orders in IBP.
any orders, we don't create any orders.
So you just propose a quantity and then say, okay, this is my plan for it. So
Yes,
once
exactly.
once we send it back to an execution system, then that execution system decides the order types and everything.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll have a BAPI in place, and then that will create that will auto generate, right? There is this BAPI. I think I'm not getting the name. It will take that value, and then it creates orders based on the way that we configure it. So in the HCI we have to map it, and we need to sit with the PPDS team or PP team, and then come up with that BAPI, and then put it inside HCI. So when the integration is running, when it is picking up that value of 100 on that particular week at that particular level, as I'm saying, that it would be at a product location bomb level, that is called source ID. So it will create that 100 as per the way that we want. When it create multiple orders or maybe just one order, and then the planners will see it in their PPDS system, and then they'll go and they'll firm it, or maybe they convert it into an actual production order.
But just out of curiosity, right? If you look at an S&P, the demands are coming from various facts, right? It could be forecast, sales order, dependent demand, or from a distribution demand, right? It's just you. So how does this knows if it is not order series? How does IBP recognize the different demand that is coming to an IBP to differentiate? Because
Yeah,
I
so
can ignore certain kind of demands as per my wish. So how do I know what is the demand that I should consider for my supply?
we have those key figures. I mean, I'll get in there. So we have
Okay.
whatever you mentioned, we have everything in there, but only catch is that there is a customer, three customers, all getting sourced from one DC, and all three customer sales orders are hitting on that particular DC. On a week, I have 10 sales orders, and every order is of 10, 10, 10 units, 10 into 10, 100. So when I am bringing that data, when we are interfacing it, when we are integrating it, so but that orders, all that will be aggregated, and then the value will be taken, and then we'll populate the relevant key figure, the value of 100. So in the IBP, when the planner is viewing, he'll just view the value of 100, but that value of 100 is coming from 10 different sales orders and from 10 different, in a week, on like, 10 particular days.
The planner should know, right, or how the demand is coming from. Where is it coming from? Because when I look at it,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can very well create the levels that we want. So we can say that this particular
Hey, are you
product,
showing
this
the
DC,
screen,
and this
Venkat?
customer. No,
Venkat,
I'm
are you
not showing
showing the
anything.
screen? Oh, okay.
No, we're just talking. We're
no, we're
just
just
talking.
talking. I mean, before, I mean, maybe you might be showing it. I'm just out of curiosity asking a few questions. Before we jump onto that, are we using SIF here, or how do we integrate with the other?
We have HCI here, where we have a HCI on a cloud integration. So it's kind of a ATL tool, extra
Can
transform
we
load,
integrate
but
with
it's
regular R3?
yes, we can.
Okay,
We
so
can connect
still
to
it's
any.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah, but it's not like SIF. Where in SIF you can actually go inside SIF and see what's happening and then push it, or do all sorts of stuff. But in HCI we won't see it. We
Mm.
don't have that much feasibility because it's on cloud, and it has been taken care of by another team altogether. But from IBP, as an inbound and outbound, we can very well see all the logs, that okay, what's coming into my system, how many records are coming in, who's running it, what's the timestamp, how many got processed, success, failure, download the report, and all that. So we have that. There is a particular app called data integration jobs. So there you can see that what my HCI is bringing into my system.
Okay, so do we have the same planning engines here, heuristics, deployment, and
Yes, yes, yes,
optimization?
yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Yeah, maybe we can get
Let's
started. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with the time series based supply planning. So
Mhm.
so where does this fit in as a logical flow, and in the entire planning flow? Where does it fit in? So I would say first, once the demand planning is done, we have the sales history, we have our statistical forecasting algorithms. We'll do the adjustments, we'll come up with the final forecast. The forecast could be at any level, as the whatever we wish for. If you want to do the forecasting at a brand level, go and do it. If you want to do it at a customer channel level, just do it. But when it is so once the demand planning is done, you have to give the demand plan into the supply planning system, so that the supply planning can come up with its plan. So what do you mean that, like, what do you mean by that? So if you see this, the simple supply chain network, just So this is your customer one. So let's say this is Amazon. This is eBay. Whatever. These are the three customers, and this is your product. Let's just say that this is, you know, this is like for whatever, like S11. There's a product called S11, and then you have done your forecast, and then you have the demand for this particular product. No, for this Amazon customer, it is 100, eBay is 100, Best Buy is 100. So the total demand is 300. So now this is your supply chain network. So there are two warehouses um, that are connected to these customers, and then the warehouses are further connected back to the DCs. There are three DCs, and then there are two production facilities you have. So I made it as simple, guys. Tomorrow we'll go to all the co-packer and all sorts of complex stuff now. And then this is your production facility, and you have two plants. And then there is one supplier which is supplying, just gave a clip art here signifying that the Intel is supplying um, the chips, so that the plants can take the components called chips, and then it can create a product called S11, and it can ship. All these dotted lines are representing a transportation lane in APO language. So it's kind of a network lane, that it is signifying that what is the ship from location, what is the destination location, what is a product that is getting shipped. And then the mode of transport, I just gave a small diagram here. It's a truck. The mode of transport is truck. So this is your supply chain network. So when I say 300, so now like you have two plans. Which one you want to pick up? How you want to produce this demand of 300 on a particular week, like week 25th week of 2019? You want to produce all 300 in plant one, or maybe 50% in plant one, 50% in plant two, so that you can utilize both the capacities? Or maybe do you all your shipment from warehouse one? Okay, the warehouse one, this warehouse is not connected to Amazon customer, so both needs to have some quantities reached before week 25th, so that it can ship. And there's always this lead time element in it. So if the lead time from warehouse to Amazon is like 1 day, 1 week, if the demand is on week 25th, the stuff has to come on week 24th. It has to reach on 24th. By 24th, if the demand is reaching the warehouse, so that it can complete its the shipment and can meet that demand. Or maybe if it is if there is another co-packer or someone external manufacturing, do the entire manufacturing in the external system. Your plants just shut it down, because it is profitable for the external manufacturer to produce everything, and he'll ship it to your DCs, and from DCs you will send it to the warehouse, and from the warehouse you'll send it to the customers. So there are these so many options, right? I mean, you can do your supply, um you know uh, based on many factors and all the variables that you can come up with, and you can come up with different kind of supply results, right? So now inside the supply planning, we have these operators, we have these algorithms which will actually come up with this kind of results, supply results. Once you feed in the demand into it, once you say that my Amazon needs 100, eBay needs 100, Best Buy needs 100, and this is my supply chain network, I have these many locations, and these are the transportation lanes, and I have these constraints, that I have this lead time, it is 2 weeks, and this is my costs, and these are my lot sizes, and etc., etc. If you just feed all of them, you run your algorithm, and the algorithm will come up with the supply planning results, and the algorithm will say that, okay, plant 1 you produce this much, plant 2 produce this much, shipment DC1 do the shipment of this, and then so on and so forth, and what would be the capacity utilizations, what would be the supplier the demand on the supplier, etc, etc. So that is what the supply planning algorithms does. Okay, so once you're done with your demand planning, and ideally what SAP says is the best practice, you should also be done with your IO, which is the inventory optimization. So what it does, it generates the safety stocks. Okay, it generates the safety stocks for all these locations, these 2 plants, these 3 DCs and 2 warehouses. It generates the safety stocks. Based on what it generates the safety stock? Based on the service level that you want to maintain for this particular product to the connecting customer, based on the costs, based on the, I mean, the inventory holding costs, and based on the variance, etc. It comes up with some safety stocks. So you take all these 2 inputs, demand planning input, which is the actual demand, that is called consensus demand, and then you take the safety stocks. It is optional. I mean, you can have your safety stocks, or you can very well manually go and maintain the safety stocks and the inventory targets. What is my target at warehouse 1? I need to maintain a minimum of 2000 quantities on this particular week because of XYZ reasons. So you can also, the planners can very well go and maintain the inventory targets over there. So once you're done with the demand planning, once you're done with the inventory optimization,
So when this
the,
inventory optimization is in IBP, there is an inventory IBP inventory module. Is it based
yes,
on that?
IBP inventory optimization, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So it does only safety stock calculation, or it does it do anything else?
All the stuff that related to the stocks, all the days of supply, and etc, etc.
Oh, okay.
But the key
Stock
thing
on
is the
hand.
safety stock.
Okay, so it calculates the stock on hand and available. I
Nope,
mean,
nope. No,
it does not.
stock on hand comes as comes from the S4 system. It will not calculate the stock on hand.
No, if you want to predict the availability to deploy in future, so how does that?
Okay, that will be taken care by the supply planning algorithms itself.
Okay, so it just calculates the safety stock, is it?
Yes, safety stocks and the days of supply and other stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, safety stock is what we are really interested in.
Okay, so how does the safety stock gets calculated here in IBP?
Uh, yeah, by running the inventory optimization algorithm.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, what is the source? Like, if you look at an APO in supply planning SNP, we look at an forecast or demand of couple of weeks. Let's say, hey, look at 5 weeks of demand or 5 weeks of supply. Based on that, do a safety stock calculation. So that's how the safety stock gets calculated, right? So because system has to know, there should be some source for system to consider, and then it should generate the safety stock, right? So here,
Yeah. Exactly. Same in here. Inventory optimization, it's an algorithm. Like in every other algorithm, there would be some inputs, there would be some outputs, and there is some engine inside this algorithm. So just like the way here also in inventory optimization, there are some standard inputs which we have to populate before running the algorithm, and it will generate the results. The inputs would be the demands, serviceability, like how much service level that you want to maintain, and the lead times, and then the capacities of your locations, etc, etc. There are some inputs, so we'll get there. So we'll also cover the inventory
okay,
optimization, but
okay.
ideally we should go with the flow, but just jumping into the supply planning because we have some special
Yeah, I
you
get
know
it. I mean, yeah. I mean, in fact, if you could cover bit on the inventory optimization as well, that will help. Actually.
yeah, sure, very well. It's in the plan. Inventory optimization, we'll cover it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so once you have the demand plan, ideally you should run your forecast consumption as a second step. Forecast consumption is, guys, I mean, you have your sales orders, and then there are these demands coming in, so you don't want to duplicate your demand. You don't want to double it. So what you do is you want to consume the your sales orders has to consume your demand, and then you run this algorithm forecast consumption. It consumes all the sales orders, consumes all the forecast, and then it comes up with a netted demand. So now that demand is your net demand, and then that is what you feed into the supply planning, so that the supply planning can comes up with a result. Okay, so and then you run your inventory optimization. It comes up with the safety stocks, and you populate everything, and then you run your supply planning run. It generates the results. So now here the catch is, just want to highlight here, because see, this is just an this is an algorithm, and then it has its own limitations and constraints, that you have to populate the demand at the product ID level. Inside the product master data, there are so many attributes: product ID, product family, product group, brand, product subgroup. You can also create your custom product hierarchy like stock ID, etc., etc. So doesn't matter where you do your demand planning. For example, the statistical algorithms, it doesn't care. I mean, they are not standard. I mean, they are not hard coded in such a way that it always reads the data from product level. No, it's not like that. You create your key figures at any level that you want. You specify your forecasting algorithm that I have my sales history, my input to the forecasting was at brand level, and you give me the forecasting output, statistical forecasting at the brand level. System does it. It works fine. But whereas with the supply planning, you always have to come to the product level. So in my there's a CPG industry that I worked on, so where the forecast happens at a stock ID level. Stock ID means it's a custom attribute which we had come up in the product hierarchy, that a group of relevant related SKUs, product IDs are clubbed, and then they call it as a stock ID. They don't want to get into the detail level as a product ID level, but they do it at a bit aggregated level, that is called stock ID. So they are done with their stock IDs at the they're done with their forecasting at the stock ID level, and then the supply planning comes in. So now we want the forecast to be at a product ID level. So now we have to come up with a disaggregation method, and then how, if for example, if there are 3 SKUs, it's the same SKU, but it has 3 different packaging, or maybe flavors or something, just saying random examples. So there it is about the more of the packaging. So you need to disaggregate the forecast happens at a SKU level, and then now you have to disaggregate. Forecast happens at the stock ID level, you have to disaggregate at the SKU level. So you have a 300 there, and how you disaggregate it proportionately, 100 100 100, or maybe based on any other key figure, so that other key figure acts as a weightage, and then based on that other key figure, based on the proportions of other key figure, I want to split my 300 that is at my stock level, then I want to populate at the stock ID level. So there the exact requirement is that there is something called as a active item factor. I don't want to get in there. Once one while we do the demand planning, I'll show it to you guys. So there is this active item factor. So the catch there is the business scenario in such a way that for one particular stock, there are a particular SKU is active for some time. For example, that is a CPG industry, consumer goods. During the Christmas season, they have a separate labeling with some red color wrapping and etc. And other seasons there are some different packaging. So, and for a particular customer, they come up with different packagings. So there what they'll say is that this particular customer on this particular time bucket, only this product is active. I'll maintain flag 1 there. Other products 0 0. So I have a forecast of 300 at stock ID level. I have 3 SKUs under it, 3 product IDs.
Are you
Product
showing the
1.
screen, Venkat? Are you showing the screen?
No. I'm not showing the screen. I'm just,
One
telling you
thing,
guys.
I mean, so I don't see anything right now. Okay. So I was wondering, yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, can you just see my PPT where I just mentioned 3 points, demand planning,
No, I
forecast.
don't see anything.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
so?
yeah.
How
I
about
can
other guys? Can you guys see my screen?
I can see.
Yes.
Yeah,
I can
yes, I
see
can
as well.
see. Maybe log off and log in back one more time and see.
3, 4, 6 times, 7 times I did this. I don't
Okay, who's this?
Oh, I'm sorry.
know. It's David, yeah.
Hey, sorry, David. I don't know what's going wrong. Can you get in touch with any of our meeting coordinators and see?
Yeah, it should.
Are you calling from your mobile or something?
Yeah.
But I don't see David. What is the name that you called him?
Caller one? Is it caller 01? You're calling from mobile?
Looks like it's a car mobile.
I,
That's why.
I don't see anything here. 1 second. I don't know. Since you sent the access code, I just entered and got in.
No, have you dialed in through a phone or through a laptop?
Laptop, and I'm using phone for the voice.
Oh, that might be the reason. Maybe you have to use the link.
Yeah, which link? The first day you guys sent the same link, right?
I think so. Give
No,
it.
no, he just sent the link just like a couple of 1 hour back.
Are you in chat at least?
Anji B, yeah, right, correct. Yeah, Anji.
I just pinged in the chat. See if that works. Right.
Yeah, Anji B or somebody sent it. Sorry, yeah, basically I was, yeah, now I see the screen, yeah. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Venkat, yeah, sorry.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I think I'm on mute. I'm really very sorry. So yeah. So what I'm
Yeah,
trying
sorry.
to say, yeah, what I'm trying to say is that this is the output of the demand planning. Let's just say that final demand is a key figure which holds the final demand figures for a particular customer and for a particular stock. And after this, they just rub their hands, and then the demand planning is done. And they were like, okay, done. We are done our part. So this is what our demand is. But as a supply planning team, we have to transform these values at a product ID level. So the logic that I'm saying is that based on that particular business requirement, a stock constitutes of multiple product IDs. At any given point of time, only one product ID is active. Why only one product is active? Based on the season and based on the promotions that they are doing. Maybe in Christmas season, they make the SKU X3 as an active item, because Q underscore X3 will have some red color wrapping and the packaging is different. In some other season, it's something else. So now the disaggregation is happening based on another key figure that is called active item factor, and these are coming in from the S4 system. There's a particular table where the business maintains and specifies that within this duration for this customer and for this particular stock and products, this is active, this is inactive. If it is active, I'll bring it as 1. Inactive, I'll bring it as 0. So now these are the values that are getting maintained in this 4, and I'm bringing it back. And then the planners can see it that this customer Amazon, for the stock called stock underscore X, there are 3 products: X1, X2, X3. X2 is active for week 1. So now my my
Doing a quick
final.
clarification here. When you say
Mhm.
stock X, is it a group? Is it a material group? Because there is a
Yeah,
SKU
yes,
X1, SKU X3.
yes, it's a material group, yes.
Okay, let's say iPhone, and then X1, X2 is the different version, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. And then key figure, it says active item, meaning it's active key figure or something else. What does it mean, active item meaning?
Active item is a custom key figure. So all these are custom ones, guys. This is a custom key figure. It has some calculations in it. This is a custom key figure. Active item holds that mm,
Why do you need to use the
which
custom
product
key
is
figure?
because so the whole exercise is to bring the stock values to the product level, and to do that we need to do some calculations, some disaggregation, some multiplication, some this and that. So that's why we have to create some custom key figures, and some key figures
Yeah.
there are
So if
values
there
coming
is
from S4.
a demand plan, when you release a demand planning to one supply planning,
Mm,
and you are disaggregating to the product level, right?
exactly.
So but if you are disaggregating that to one product level, SAP has a standard mechanism, at least in APO side, that can disaggregate to one so and so product, right? It is a general practice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but
So
why are
but
we
here,
talking about
yes,
here?
yes, that there are the standard disaggregation modes: copy, proportion, equal, etc.
Okay,
But here the disaggregation is happening based on another variable, and the variable is active item, and it's a different key figure, and it holds data for the entire next 2 years of horizon, let's say like 6 months, and for a different combinations. For one customer, X2 is active, another customer X3 is active in the same time bucket. So I want the disaggregation to happen based on other key figure.
okay. So, but in planning area configuration in SAP, at least again, I'm going with the APO
Mhm.
knowledge.
Sure.
In
Yeah.
planning area, you can always specify disaggregate based on the another key figure, right? There is a mapping where you can say use a standard disaggregation or use your another key figure based
Yes,
on the.
exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
here
yes.
we are.
So but so here I'm not focusing on the calculation logic. So here what I'm focusing is on that the need to populate the demand at product ID level. I just told one example that in my last project, demand is getting done at stock level. I have to bring it down to the product level. And what we did is there is this flag, multiply that with the flag. It generates the forecast at the product ID level.
So
How we achieve
basically,
it? Yes, there are multiple ways to achieve it. And yeah, so I'm just just telling, making it quick.
because there is something
Okay.
called product split, right? So are we not using product split here?
No, we're not using product split here because this is time based. So like week 1, X2 is active, week 2 X1 is active, and it is just
What do you
going
mean
on.
by
So this
active
is
here? That's
depending
what I'm
upon.
not getting. Actually, I'm having tough time to understand what do you mean by active item, meaning available or it's not available. That's what we are saying, or what do you mean by active item?
Active item means that this product is active and you have to play with this particular product ID for this particular customer.
Meaning, let's say, let's go with some example, right? I mean, iPhone. Let's say iPhone 5
Hmm.
is inactive, for example.
Hmm.
Is that what we are saying? And iPhone 10 is
No,
active.
no,
Is
no,
that
no, no, no. No. Inside iPhone 10, usually iPhone 10 Black, it comes up with some packaging, right? So sometimes in Christmas, let's just say that in US, they are wrapping it with some, a red color, and in some other season, you're wrapping it same product, same SKU, but just the packaging is different. And if it is if it is Amazon, they want to wrap it in a different way, that with my serviced partner Amazon, something like that. There has to be a label on top saying, signifying Amazon and Apple, then their collaboration, and some gift wrapping or whatever, some kind of a variant. It's the same product, the
Sounds like
packaging
what
would be
I
different.
understand is, I'm not sure what industry that you're working. So what you're saying is, have forecasted for iPhone X, but I have a different customer who's buying it from me. For example, eBay, Amazon, and other vendors. So you're marking it X1 as Amazon, X2 as Best Buy, and X3 as PayPal or whatever, right? So is that what you are trying to signify it here and say, okay, X2 is available, but for Amazon it's not available,
No,
but
it is not about availability. It is not availability.
uh-huh.
It is not availability. We're
Okay.
saying that this is active, and then this product, you pick up this product, this variant, and you play with that this variant only for this particular customer. That is what I'm saying.
What is
It's not
the
about
business
availability.
scenario that drives the, I mean, I get
So,
it, but what
Hmm.
business scenario
whether
that drives
we
the,
add two more columns. So you have put the week one that is active
Hmm.
for X2, right? If you add
Hmm.
two more columns, week two and week three, and the same thing
It
like
might
if
make
you
more
do
sense.
for X1 and X3, then maybe it might resolve the doubt.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. I'll do that. And also add just one second.
but I mean, I still have the, I understand the technical part of it. All I'm
Hmm.
saying is pick this product for this week and pick this X3 for another week and whatever the availability of that, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
is that scenario that drives for me to keep this additional custom key figure to say pick this in this week? Because we are forcing system to choose certain product ID here for a reason, right? What is that business scenario that drives for me to use a custom key figure here to force the system to pick up on specific product ID on a week?
Yeah. So I just told the example, right? So the same iPhone 10 black color 32 GB, whatever the variant it is. It is being packed, it's a white color box, and it has everything inside it, earphones, whatnot. But when you're shipping it to the Amazon, you want a different wrapper on top with a separate with a separate sticker saying that serviced partner or maybe collaborator, maybe Amazon something something. There
Sticker
are
is a
other
shipping tag,
packagings.
right? Shipping sticker is part of a shipping, right?
No, but here, I mean, when yeah, it is part of shipping, but I
Why do
have
you
to
bring into that for planning? Because all it matters is if you are saying that it is packaging, packaging is always after my planning. All I'm saying is this is my inventory and this is how I have to disaggregate. If I want to put a different label at the time of manufacturing, it makes sense to me. But if you want to, if you are talking about only at the time of shipping, obviously I'll have a different packaging and shipping area where I can ship it, pack it, and ship it. But as part
yeah,
of a
it's not,
manufacturing, I don't have.
got it,
Are we
got it, got it.
as part of a manufacturing?
Yes, because the SKU X2, the SKU X3 will have a different bomb. SKU X2 will have a different bomb. SKU X1 will have a different bomb. So if it has a different bomb, in IBP language, we call it as a production source header. That means it has a different way of doing it. So X1, X2, X3, they both are different. I mean, not as a functional thing, but yeah, it's a packaging thing. But still, the manufacturing team wants to have a visibility on, what is the demand on X3. So once I do all this activity in this particular week, Amazon and eBay and some other customer, X2 is active, and then the demand for X2 is of like some 10,000 units, and then I have to do my beat a sticker or whatever. So I'm just giving a fancy example that it is just a change in the sticker, and only this Amazon customer on this season I need to send this particular packaged product. So the example could be fancier, but yeah, this is a real requirement. And then every product will have a different BOM, and every product is different. The functionality is same because they all belong to one stock. That means they all are related products, but still the final finished good is different. And then the manufacturing team wants to have a visibility on the demand on all these different variants on all these different products. Yeah, so we'll deal with the same example in the demand planning activity. So let's just park it here. We think we're just running out of time. So, but the whole point is that we have to come up with the demand at the product ID level. Okay, so now let's deal with the different master data that are there. So here in this particular supply chain network, So all these are customers. There is a particular master data called as a customer master data. You need to obviously have a product master data. And then all these are locations. Be it your warehouse, DCs, plants, suppliers. But there's a particular attribute called location type. We'll see it where there you will specify that this particular location is my supplier, and you mark it as a V, location type V, signifying it's a vendor. Any other value in the location type doesn't make any sense to the optimizer, I mean to the supply planning algorithm. If you maintain it as a V for a particular record of location Intel here, the system thinks that Intel is a vendor. Okay, so 3 master
So
data we
there
covered.
is no difference between plant and DC.
Nope, no difference. Just that the plant will have a extra master data in it. Like for example, production source header, which is like a bomb, and you maintain all the production source header and etc. inside the plant type of location.
Okay.
Next, we'll assign the product to the customer and then to the location. So let me write it down here. And we'll just load it, guys. I mean, we'll load the entire master data and then we'll run it. So first, what you need is you need to specify the products that are involved in your supply planning. Here I'll maintain S11. Next, I'll maintain other master data. Then there are 3 records for it. There are Amazon and then eBay and then BB, Best Buy. Then I have to specify the locations there. How many locations I have here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 locations are there, and then all the 3 DCs and 2 warehouses. Now you will give a unique name, a location ID for all these locations, and then one Intel. And here you say location type is V. Maybe to refresh so that the connection will be re-established. Okay, so once you're done with this, now what you'll do is you'll extend all the product to all these customers and locations, and you call that master data called as a customer product. Call it as a location product. Okay, and then here there's another master data called as a planning unit. It's called as a subnetwork. So here you specify the subnetworks was like a part of your supply chain, and then so that it just slices down your entire supply chain so that you can effectively manage your particular subnetwork, assign it to a particular planner and say that okay, he is responsible for it. And then you can also specify that all these locations are belonging to one particular subnetwork. Customer product and then location product. Now what else? So again, the main thing, transportation lanes, it's called as a location. I'll call it as sources of supply. There are 3 master datas. So here the name itself is signifying that in this master data you're specifying what is the source to do the supply for this particular location. Okay, so there is something called as a customer source of supply. It's called as a customer source. This is a compound master data. I think we're jumping we have jumped ahead. That's why I think we haven't covered the different master data type. But for now, just take this, that customer source of supply is the compound master data. That means this master data is being made by taking one or more master datas, and then you club those one or more master datas to form this compound master data called as a customer source of supply. Take a logical guess. So what master data will constitute this customer source of supply? First, you need to have a customer dimension, that yes, my Amazon customer location, what location is supplying to my customer Amazon. So here I would say my warehouse 1 Amazon. And what it is shipping, it is what it is supplying, it's a product. So that means it's a product master data. That means the customer source of supply is a compound master data internally made of 3 master datas we call them as simple master data. So this is a simple master data. Even this is a compound master data, because here you're clubbing product master data and location master data. Okay, in like in different planning scenarios also. For example, you need to club two different master data to get more more details or more or more visibility. For example, if I say my unit price, the product itself might not make more sense from my particular business, because my unit prices for Samsung S11, they are changing. For one customer it is $200, another customer it is $150. So I need to have a customer dimension, so that only makes more sense to my particular data point, that is called unit price. So in those scenarios, I'll create this custom master data, which is customer product, and where I assign my unique products to every single customer. And I also maintain my unit prices as $200, $150 across. We'll see more use cases on the customer custom
In the customer
compound
source
master
of
data.
supply,
Hmm.
I have a question here. When you say customer source of supply,
Hmm.
is it a fixed customer, meaning location A will always supply, or the
Exactly.
customer X will always buy it from location X?
Yes.
It,
Because it's
it's
your
more.
physical supply chain, right? It's on land. It's not a virtual thing. It's on land. But you can very well maintain the validity of your supply chain network. For example, you can say Amazon will be shipped. The source for Amazon, the supply source is from warehouse one, warehouse two. But my quarter one, Q1, warehouse one is inactive.
But
You
if
say
let's
that
go
this
with
is not
eBay,
landed.
eBay example, eBay is buying it from both warehouse 1 and warehouse 2. So
Yes.
I have to maintain different set of master data
Exactly.
there,
Two. Yes. Two records in the
okay,
master data of customer source of supply.
2 records. So
Yes,
then how
one
will
record
we
is
prioritize? So we have a prioritization there, where to buy.
So exactly. So if it is heuristics, today we'll touch base on heuristics. I'll try to touch base on
Okay,
heuristics. If it is
okay.
heuristics, it is quota base. You
Mhm.
specify that this is my quota. Zero point 0.3 from warehouse one, 0.7 from warehouse two. Heuristic will blindly follow. It
Okay.
won't put any other intelligence. It won't look at the costs. It won't look at the capacities, etc., etc. It just assumes that it is infinite supply. I have infinite supply with me. You
Mhm.
give me the quotas, I'll follow it. But
Okay.
whereas with optimizer, it looks for the cost. It just does a lot of other calculation. What is my transportation cost? What is my production costs? And all other different constraints are there, lot sizes and etc, etc. We'll go deep, but yes, coming back to your this thing, inside the customer source of supply master data, two records. One record for eBay S11 product, warehouse one. Another record for the same eBay customer, same product S11, another location, warehouse two. So this is a customer source of supply, and there are other values here like lead time and lot sizes and etc, etc. Let's not go there. Next is a location source of supply.
Sorry, before you go there, how is it
Sure,
different
sure.
from a transportation lane in APO? Because even in
It's the
APO,
same. Hmm.
it's my source is location A and my destination is customer X, right? And within that, I'm going to maintain what are all the products that customer is going to buy. So I have a transportation lane which is based on customer as well, based on source of supply, right? So how
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Is it same or it's just a different?
It's different. It's kind of different because in customer source of supply you will see more of a customer related inputs. I'll open the master data. We will see. So the standard master data and the standard attributes available. So they are
Okay,
different. So
okay,
in the location source of supply, it is more from a location. If I randomly pick a location, like for example, this DC1 for this particular S1, what is the source for it? From where it is getting its stuff? So there I'll specify that the another location there I call it as a ship from location, and I'll say plant one, plant two, etc. So here it is location source of supply. It needs ship from location, location, destination location. So where location is from here in the location, this is a DC, and then this is a product. And the third one, that is called production source of supply. So this
No,
is
no, no. Ship from location could be DC, and location could be warehouse.
if you're looking from a warehouse perspective, if you open warehouse,
Hmm.
that is location ID, The ship from could be DC1, DC2, or DC3. Yeah. So location ID is your point of reference. So I mean, that is your, like, the receiving end. So yeah, production source of supply means this is from a more from a production perspective, that so this particular plant one, for the product S11. So what is my source? So there you're not sourcing from another location in your supply chain network, but you yourself are producing it. So in that case, you have to maintain a master data called as a production source of supply. So it takes location ID. What location? Plant one. Product. What product? S11. Now here comes a thing that is called source ID. This means your BOM number. And then for one product S11, you can create multiple BOMs. You can create 3-4 production versions, and then every version can have a different, BOM structure, different components, or maybe different capacity consumptions. Every BOM can have different costs. So one BOM is more profitable, and every BOM will get produced on a different resources, etc., etc. So but the thing here is that from a location perspective, if there is no source, the supply is not happening from a different location, but it is happening in itself, then we create a master data called as a production source of supply. So, and under this there is something else that is called as a production source item.
Venkat, quick question on the source ID. So why do I need to reference the BOM details here? Meaning, all I care about from source of supply perspective, what is my location where I'm producing it, and what is the product that I'm producing it. When I say the
Yeah,
product is this, and it is understood from the system perspective, what is my product is going to be, right?
exactly. And how you're producing it. If there are 5 ways of producing it, and then there are 5 production versions, and you'll have 5 source IDs and 5 records for the same location for the same product.
So if I go the APO knowledge, and we always have, as I said, we have a production version, right? The PDS is going to carry the production version, and system tend to say it will pick up based on the raw material availability of the product at that point in time, and then it will start producing the different production version that we have created. And here, are we enforcing the system to say, or let me put it this way, with source ID, for example, I have a 2 production version A and production version B. You are saying I have to create a 2 records here, okay?
Yes.
Right? And then how does
Yes.
system know which one I have to choose again? It's not again.
Exactly. If you're running heuristic, you have to specify the quotas. If you don't specify quotas, it will fail through error message saying that master data is insufficient. In this particular location, I can see 2 sources, two ways I can source. That is 2 source IDs: production version A, production version B. You didn't give me any quotas, I am quitting it. In
So
case of optimizer,
do we have a PDS in IBP by any chance, or it is in a different form?
no. There is no PDS.
Okay, so that's why the PDS is now combined with the lanes, looks like, source of supply. Is that right?
Yeah.
The product data structure is different, buddy. This is the transportation lines.
No, but transportation lane, why are you bringing the BOM here?
No, this is not a transportation lane.
Combination. It's a combination.
No,
The way to source all that. It's a fast-moving items, slow-moving items. What happens? Slow-moving items will be sourced from the plant, and the fast-moving items sourced from a warehouse.
If we go with Venkat statement, source ID is nothing but a BOM versions.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, the source of supply heading might be confusing. Yeah. It's not location. It's not a transportation. I'm just IBP calls that. No, it's not a transportation lane. It's not a transportation lane. It's a BOM data point. What almost 60% of data points that you see inside a BOM are available inside the master data called production source of supply. All the production lot sizes and rounding values and whatnot. There are other IBP relevant stuff also. So we'll see that. So I think we're running out of time.
You can call it a bill of distribution, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can call like that. Yes, I agree with that. So guys, I mean, I just want, today we're running out of time. I just want to
see SAP. What happens? I'll tell you. JDA has got a better language. SAP APO, they didn't want to copy the language of JDA, so that's why they come up with their own language, and people they confuse. So basically, it's nothing but a bill of distribution.
Yes, I agree. I second that.
The JDA is a better product. Let me tell you. I know the legacy of the products here.
Venkat, one more question. So assume, let's go with the just terminology here, source of supply. Now
Mm-hmm.
my sources are divided into three steps, right? So if you
Yes.
go with the language, I know what is my source and where I produce and then where I ship it to. But in
Mm-hmm.
this case, first we are trying to identify what is my manufacturing plant and what is my product that I'm producing, and then
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to differentiate whether plant is supplying to an distributor or it is going to ship it to warehouse or whatever. But the second step is plant. After manufacturing, we are trying to ship it to an next level, either it DC or it is warehouse, right?
This your warehouse. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it depends
Yeah.
on the business process, and then we are
Yes.
trying to identify who's my customer is going to be, right? It is a three different sequences, and this is not how it is. At least in APO, that's not how it is designed. So how are we going to execute in this sequence? Which one comes picks up from a technical standpoint? How does system recognize to go with the flow?
It
Which one?
always starts from the customer perspective. So it looks at the demand at the Amazon, and then it sees that how I'm going to propagate the demand of this 100 units, and it always looks from a customer perspective that what sources are available for this Amazon customer. Two sources: warehouse one, warehouse two. Okay, how I need to propagate: heuristic run, optimizer run. Heuristic quotas, I propagate, I split based on the ratios. If it is optimizer, I'll try to find the most optimal way to do my supplying of 100. I'll reach the warehouse location, and how this warehouse can do itself. There are no a source. I mean, there's nothing been maintained after this fail. It says that insufficient, this thing, because you haven't specified that how this has been done. And then you say that okay, there is another level of data that has been maintained. These warehouses can get it from a DC, and from there it can get it from the plant one, and then that's how it gets propagated. And then and then at every link we need to specify that how the how the system has to proceed, and then we can leave a few bits and pieces here, and then system would take an optimal approach. For example, in the same plant here, I'll say there is another external manufacturing here, and I'll say in this particular plant one S11, I maintain a BOM entry, production source of header. I'll say that this is my source ID, this is my lot size, etc., etc. There's also this other co-packer or co-manufacturer, and then he can also do that. And
So
then now here
basically,
you
we are doing a nested transportation lane here, but how are we prioritizing the locations, right? Because if you look at APO, we have a transportation lane priority. If there's the same scenario, looks at the customer and I mean the warehouse, it checks for the availability. If not, then it looks for the warehouse distributor center, and if not, it triggers the production. If it checks the stock and plant, if not, it
yes,
triggers the
yes,
production
yeah.
plant.
So
Right?
I'm telling you,
So,
there are almost, I mean, I could think of almost 7 different ways. Right now I can think of seven
right,
different ways to prioritize my warehouse one instead of warehouse two. How to do it? We can achieve it
right.
through master data entries, or you can
Exactly.
achieve it through key figure
Priority.
entries. So we'll see that. Yeah, there
Yes,
is a
yes.
scenario that I have created.
Mhm.
That day we'll uh, dwell in
Okay.
deep and coming up with the results that we want. As a planner, I'll have partiality on my particular location. If I want to get a skewed results, I can very well achieve it. There are whole set of
Okay.
key figures, and there are some
Okay.
lots and lots of almost like 100 key figures are there for the supply planning algorithms itself. There are
Okay.
100 standard inputs outputs to the supply planning, and based on those key figures we can get the kind of result that we want. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're stuck here. Four master data: product, customer, location, subnetwork. Customer, product, location, product, sources of supply. Then comes more from a production facility perspective. We have something called as a resource master data. Here you specify all those resources that are there, and then you map the resource to a particular location. So I have, for example, let's say like assembler, or whatever, packer. There's a big machine. You have to create unique entries inside the resource master data first, and then you have to assign these resources to your locations. And the resource can be not just a production resource, it could be a storage resource, or it could be a handling resource also. Okay, so if it is just a handling resource, a storage resource, you will assign it to the DCs and warehouses, and also to the plant. And then if it is a production resource, you will assign it to the production facilities. So there is a resource master data, there is location resource master data, and there is something called as a production source resource. So here you'll map source ID with the resource ID. Don't shoot questions, guys. I mean, we'll go in detail. uh, a capacity consumption rate, I'll say. for example, inside this plant one, I have an assembler. It's a big, robotic assembler. That is my resource. First, I'll maintain that this is my or assembler. Okay, and then here in the location source, I'll assign my location assembler to plant one. And there are other values where I specify what is the available capacity, capacity supplies, 24 hours, etc., etc. And in the production source resource, I'll specify that source ID production version 1, if it is getting produced on our assembler, it's going to consume 0.01 of the capacity. Source 2, source ID 2, production version B, same resource, robotic assembler, capacity consumption is 0.005. So production version B is more optimal, right? Because it is consuming less capacity. If it is optimizer, it will pick up the production version B. And that's how those source IDs consume the available capacity of that particular resource called OR assembler. And yeah, so that is a production source resource master data. And then there's something called as a location source resource. So here you will maintain your storage resource. All the projected stock consumes the storage resources. So in this warehouse, I have a big storage resource. The available capacity is like 10,000 units, and then there is inventory target, so I have to maintain a particular stock. So if it is just 1,000 units are there, and then the consumption is 1, so the usage would be 1,000, and available would be 90,000 if you go with 1 lakh as a capacity. And then there you maintain, here also you maintain your capacity consumption rates. And here you'll also specify handling resource. That means this resource, when the goods are getting received, there this handling resource get occupied. And when there is a particular receipt key figure which says that DC1 is sending 100, DC2 is sending 100 to this warehouse 1, so the total receipts would be 200. And then if the handling resource has a capacity of 300 units, and then on that particular week 200 are getting 200 are reaching warehouse 1, it consumes 200 of its capacity. Available is 100. If another DC3 is also sending 200, it would be more than its available capacity, so system will not do in case of optimizer, because optimizer heavily respects the capacities. But whereas heuristics, it don't care about the capacities, it just looks for the demand and looks for the quotas, and does its demand propagation and comes up with the results. So finally, there is something called as a unit of measure, guys. You also have to maintain the unit of measure conversion factor for this particular product. Okay, so now let me quickly maintain the master data, and let's go for a quick run. Okay, then tomorrow we'll go to the optimizer and then all different stuff. So I'm maintaining, guys. So I'm inside the Excel sheet. One second. Let me see which planning area I'm in. I think it might have logged off. And before this, I'll also want to, so just this diagram will specify where my inputs and the outputs. So today we're dealing with the heuristics. So
Heuristics is a time series based.
Yeah, time series. Everything is a time series. Whatever I'm specifying, it's time series.
Okay, you
Okay.
mentioned
So.
response as order series, right? I mean, order
Mhm,
based.
mhm.
What does it
Yes,
mean?
yes.
What's the
It
difference?
creates orders. It create orders.
Meaning, is it
So he
heuristic does create or what creates the order? Because
the
initially
the
we
run. So response will have a different algorithms in it. So time series will have different algorithms. Response will have different algorithms. So if
okay,
when we run those algorithms, it creates orders. But whereas with the heuristics and optimizer, it just creates just a value. So
yeah.
here the inputs is the all the
Okay.
master data, right? So whatever
Venkat, we
master
are
data
rushing.
we have seen.
Venkat, we are rushing. Venkat. I understand, but at least from understanding perspective, are you saying heuristics and optimizer falls under time series because it just proposes the quantity, not the order?
Yes, heuristics, optimizer. There's something else called the supply propagation heuristic. They all come under time series. So whatever I'm discussing now, another couple of days, it would be all time series.
Okay, we
Later
also
on,
have a
we'll touch
similar
base. Mhm.
heuristics in the response as well, or we don't have a heuristic in the response. I just trying to understand what is time series and order series here before we go into this stuff.
Yeah. So the output here, as I told, that one is a production plan.
Okay,
It's called as a production receipts. The key figure name is production receipts. So there, for a particular week, it says produce 1,000.
okay,
It is just a value. But
got it.
whereas in the order based planning, so there you have a different algorithms, deployment run, etc. When you run that, it creates multiple orders for the same week of week one. For the same quantity of 100, it might create 10 orders. Order 1 10, order 2 10, order 3 10, and then every order will have a particular timestamp to it. Order 1, you start on the day 1 of week 1. Order 2, day 2 of week 1, and etc etc. So and it will have a particular order number, and then it will have the timestamp and other details in it. So now that order you can directly send it to the S4 system, and then the S4 system order execution will
So,
proceed, like the planner might format.
architecturally, why do I have to this two different steps? What drives for me to have a two different steps, right? But if you look at an API, it all happens together. But here I'm splitting. First is planning, right, and then
Mhm.
maybe I do a plan review, and then I convert that into an orders, right?
In case of time series, yes.
Okay, so first you just propose the quantity, and then you take it to an order series, and then or order based
No, no, no,
planning.
no, 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 no. We not go. I mean, see, order series is a different thing altogether. After this particular demand planning, take the demand and start running your order-based algorithms.
What are
The
those? I mean, when you
order-based.
keep saying algorithms, is there any technical name for those algorithms, like
Yes,
heuristic,
yes, yes.
CTM?
Yes. Not CTM. We have some algorithms, and then I'll once we start in there, I'll go in deep, and then I'll show it to you guys what algorithms are there, what are its inputs, what are its outputs, and how we can tweak those algorithms, etc. But right now we are focusing on time series based planning. Time series just creates just the time series values, a value across the horizon. You have to take those values, send it to S4 system to create them as orders. Any other doubts?
Um, okay, you're sending this to S4 to create an orders. Okay, and then
Mhm.
you're also saying we also have a order based planning. If IBP is generating the order based and order based planning, so we
Mm.
don't need to send it to IBP. I meaning IBP proposes the plan and just sends it to an S4. I'm just trying to understand the significant different basic architecture, because you keep saying it's just time series and it goes to an S4, it will be converting that into an order. And there is one
Mhm.
more thing called order, that is order based planning. Are we are also trying to execute order based planning out? I'm not sure it is based on output from the heuristics from time series,
No,
or
no,
it,
no. It is not. No, I think it's
okay,
getting confused
that
here.
correct. That's my confusion. I'm still with the APO knowledge. I mean, for me, time series
Yeah,
and order series are two different things.
yeah, got it. So order-based planning, do your demand planning. Okay, get other stuff like IO, get the safety stocks, whatever, and run the order-based algorithms. Okay, so there are multiple algorithms, and every algorithm does a particular function. Run your algorithms, it generates the review the order results. Okay, so output of order based algorithms. Okay, now send these orders to S4 or execution system. Okay, because they are just planned orders, and there in the S4 they might convert it, they might form it, they might convert it into an
So basically, we are saying either you use the order series or I mean the
exactly.
time series or
Yes,
based or time or order series, whatever that fits
yes,
for you. So it is
exactly.
two different functionality. You can use it whichever that suits for your business purpose.
Perfectly, yes, that's it.
Okay.
And one more thing is that you can track your order. There are these advanced things which are just in the building phase. It is giving a lot of glitches. For example, you can take an order, sales order, and then you can track your order, like what's happening to this particular sales order. You can do the pegging. You can see that this particular sales orders, a particular stock transport order is being created already, and then from a particular plant to a particular DC, and inside that plant there is also another production order is happening, and then inside that production order there is also this purchase orders, etc. So you can actually take a particular sales order and you can visualize it on the Fairy app, and then you can see all other orders related to this particular sales order, and you can see where it is happening, how it is happening, what's the status, if it is a lead time, etc. So there are those kind of fancy things also there, but
Mhm.
they are just there in the PPTs
Correct.
and in the product roadmaps. They are not yet stable and doing it just came, guys. I mean, the order based planning just came as a concept wise, it came as 1 year back. Still
Mhm.
SAP is struggling, and then maybe by 2019 end the solution might get stable enough. So yeah, but as of now, from last 6 years, I would say supply planning is there. It is evolving, stable. Almost 70% of the IBP implementations, they are also going with the supply planning. In all the last 3 projects that I have done, we have this supply planning in place. The only catch is, as I'm telling here, it won't create an order. It is just a value. You have to send it to the S4 system, and when you are sending, configure the HCI nicely so that the HCI will create the orders.
Mhm.
You have to include a BAP in it. It creates orders, and the S4 has to firm it or convert it and do all sorts of stuff there.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks, Pankaj. It helps. Yeah.
sure. Yeah, but yeah, when we actually get into the order based planning, then I think it will this thing. So yeah, guys, I mean, I'm inside the planning area, clicking on master data workbook. Now I'm maintaining all the master data. Guys, I hope you guys have some time so that we'll just finish this off. I'm picking up location master data, see this product master data, and then customer master data, subnetwork, location source of supply, customer source of supply, production source header, um, resource.
We can create all in one place, is it? Everything.
Yeah, in one single workbook, create multiple sheets. Click on this new start, it just opens it. As of now, I'm just creating only production resource, guys. Just we'll just keep this simple. Okay. Okay. So ideally, this should be coming from S4 system, or maybe or maybe any other master data system, or maybe a planner can load it through a flat file data integration job. But this is not the right way to do. But I'm just one second, guys. One second. Oh shit. Think I'm in a wrong planning area. Let me open my. I'm in a different planning area. So now this workbook goes wasted because it will not have a active connection to the planning area because I just switched between the planning areas. So coming to the inputs, so we'll maintain the master data, guys, here, all the master data. What is my transportation lane? What are my customers, etc., etc. Second thing is the key figures, I would say, key figure inputs. So here there are so many inputs, but right now I am focusing on the demand. Okay, you have to maintain, first you have to specify that what is your demand. That's the starting place. So here I'll maintain my customer demands, and I'll maintain my location demands. The demand also can be at a location level, right? Because a warehouse, in this warehouse one, some other XYZ customer, the sales order might get hit on this warehouse, and the warehouse can also take demands in it. So there is a facility that you can also maintain the location demands. The location demands could be at any location, so that is called as a independent demand. That means that demand is independent to itself. It is not coming from any of the existing customers. Okay, so here the customer demand, I'll go with the standard name. It's called as a consensus demand. You can change all these key figure names, the business descriptions, but the technical IDs cannot be changed because the algorithm is already been hard coded. We cannot come up with a different key figure and say that, okay, now I'm interpreting this key figure as my like whatever container capacity. I'll say that, okay, now I'm creating this key figure. I'll say that my transportation lane, if I say 5 containers here, it should not do more than 5 containers. Please do that. Not going to happen. You have to understand the existing algorithm and how it is being configured, what master data that it actually reads, what key figures that it gets considers, and what results that it gives. So you have to play with those. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the need is to understand the algorithm in itself. It's not like a statistical forecasting algorithms where you can give whatever inputs, that whatever key figures you want, and the system starts respecting them. It's not that case. Consensus demand, locations demand. So I would say all these are demand related key figures, I would say. Okay. uh, and then there are stock related key figures, safety stocks, I would say, or maybe inventory targets. So there is a key figure called as a adjusted safety stock. uh, this is editable, guys, so that the planner can actually go and edit it. There's another key figure called as a recommended safety stock. It has to come from the other system like S4 or maybe inventory optimization, but there is an adjustment key figure also on top of it. This adjustment, the recommended safety stock, propagates into the inventory target key figure. Inventory target is an actual input, and that's a calculated input. So it's a calculated key figure. That's why we cannot load any values into the calculated key figure. We have to go, if C is equal to A plus B, you have to deal with either key figure A or key figure B, so that you will get the resultant key figure called C. So stock related key figures, and the main things are the quotas. You have to specify quotas at every node. We'll see that. Okay, I think the planning is active. So now this will not work because you see the save changes has gone here. You see, guys, here inside the master data, you should be seeing something called save changes. That means you're in edit mode, and when you open your master data workbook in edit mode, the connection would be there just for a couple of minutes. After that, it just loses the connection. Okay, so I'm closing it, not saving it. So no, I'm in the right now in the right planning area. So you can see, guys, here in the here there's something called as a planning area test config. So that is this signifies that what planning area you are in. So this is an EPM formatting. It comes with the standard planning view. So here you can see that this sheet is referring the data from the planning area called test config. Coming into this master data here, master data workbook, I'm clicking on this. It shows me this pop-up. Going into the edit mode, master data type. I'm opening all master data again. Product master data, location master data.
So when you are checking this edit box, what is that?
That means you're editing the master data. If it is not editing, you're just viewing the existing records inside that master data.
Okay.
And usually we won't give this access, guys, as we are, we are the configuration folks. We'll have this access, or no other will have this access. If there's a master data change, they have to deal it from the source system itself. Header. Okay, we are here. Opening, so it just fetches all the data. So every sheet, it fetches the data from the HANA database. So the products are here. These are all the products that are maintained. So let's maintain S11. This is the product, right? And then another important, see, these are all the different attributes inside the master data called product master data, brand ID, category, item type category, material type ID. So supply planning algorithm really don't care about all this. So I mean, as algorithm perspective, so I'm going into the key, the attribute that we want, that is a base unit of measure. I'm specifying it as each's. Product ID is a key attribute, that's why you can see the star mark there, and then that column is highlighted in yellow color. If I enter something like Tropicana orange, if I save it, it fails because the product ID has to be unique, and then basic stuff. So I'm saving it. If you guys want to drop off, we can drop off. It's already, the time is up. We can continue with tomorrow, or we can, see its end today itself. It takes another 20, 30 minutes, I would say.
I think we can continue tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we can continue tomorrow also. So we'll start. We have left it here. We'll pick it up from here. Let me click on OK here. It says that your changes have been processed. Total number of records are 1. Number of changed are 1. If there's anything glitch in it, it rejects it, and then you can download the report and can see why it got failed. I'm clicking on OK.
So where is the
There's
master
also
data coming from? Basically, we created a product location and all that, but where is the data coming from? The kind of Samsung Digital and all that stuff when we created a product location.
Yeah, so all this I have created from the same option, master data workbook. So ideally it should come from S4 system, or ERP, or ECC, or R3 or other systems, through an integration job. That is the integration is achieved through something called as a HCI, HANA Cloud Integration. Second option is that you can load your data through a flat file from front-end interface through an app called data integration job. Open that, run a particular job, mention that what kind of a job it is. It's an insert job, update job, delete, or replace. Run it. It will show that 10 records it reads, and it says how many are passed, fail, timestamp, and details. Third option, not a good option, that is loading the master data through the master data workbook itself. So ideally it is just a read access, so you can open it, and then you can only read the records that are there. For example, if I just say in edit mode, it just shows just this thing. And if I go and say that the smartwatch, I can keep a filter here. If I open it, it just opens up only that particular few records. There are Galaxy tab 101, 102, 103. If I go to the customer product, you see every sheet that I'm opening, it is fetching in from that sheet. So you can see all the product IDs that are there. Three products, tab 101, 102, 103, and these are the customers that it has been assigned to, Amazon, Best Buy, Chroma. And then these are the other attributes, and you can go and edit it. You can say that this segment is high segment, or online segment, etc., and then you can save it. So this is option for master data workbook. And you can also open record by record. You can click on single here, and then you pick up your the stuff like the location product, and see here, location ID is a star, mandatory, product is standard. So click on this and pick up any AD co-packer, then pick up the product. uh, just display it, and it displays all these. It's by record. If you want to do it in mass, click on this particular workbook and see it. Okay. Okay, guys, so just a recap on today. So what we have seen, we have We spent some time on supply planning. We have spent some time discussing that
No,
the
no.
condition
Why did
is.
you go to supply planning first? You said demand planning you'll do it first.
Yes, there's a request, and we
Oh,
jumped onto the supply planning, and but we'll very well touch the supply demand planning also. Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, so the we discussed that the condition is the demand has to be at the product ID itself. I gave an example that it doesn't matter where you do your demand planning. You can do it at brand level, product family level, any level. But once your demand planning is done, as a supply planner, you have to sit with the demand planning team, and you have to find a way how to disaggregate it or how to copy those values at product ID, because supply planning algorithms, the demands would be read at the product ID itself. Okay. Um, that's one. That's what we discussed. And then if the disaggregation has to happen by based on some calculation, you have to create some custom key figures, come up with the logic how it does, and then you do all your stuff. Second thing what we discussed is the entire network itself, and then we have went into every master data item, and then we talked a bit about it: product master data, customer master data, location, subnetwork, and then the compound master data came in. Customer products, this is where we extend every product to a customer. For example, if S11 is not been sold to Amazon, we'll not extend it. Only S10 product will extend it to Amazon. So this is where we decide that which product goes to which customer. Same goes with the location products also. We extend all the products to the existing locations. Then we talk about the sources of supply master data. First is customer source of supply. If I take a customer for a particular product, what are the available sources I have? How the supply would be sourced for this particular customer? Through locations, we'll maintain those records in customer source of supply. Same goes with the location source of supply. What other location is sourcing for this particular product to this location? If no other no other location is doing it, I'll maintain the production source of supply. That means I'm not sourcing from other location, but this location can produce on its own. So this is the BOM related master data, and then there's also a component related master data that is called production source item. This is at the item level, this is at the header level. Then we talked about the resources related master data. Three type of resources: storage resource, handling resource, and production resource. Production resource or a hard constraint for optimizer. Hard constraint means it optimizer has to respect it. Means the resource capacity, if it is exhausted, that's it, the production will stop then and there. But whereas with the heuristics, it just doesn't care, because heuristics runs on infinite supply. Whenever you do a rough cut capacity planning, usually business go for capacity heuristics, so that they'll see where are the bottlenecks inside their supply chain. If I just if in a best case scenario, I can do all my supply, I have infinite capacity. If I go with it, it gives crazy results, like capacity utilization is 250% for plant one. Another value, just put an alert so that you will know where are my pitfalls, where are my bottlenecks inside your supply chain, and then take some decisions, maybe increase your capacity, blah blah blah, and then run your optimizer again on top of it. Yeah, resource master data, and then location resource. This is where, just like in location product, here you extend a particular resource to a particular location, and here you specify what is the available capacity for this particular resource on this location. And then we have production source resource. This is where you extend your source IDs, your BOMs, onto your resources. Location source resource, this is where you extend your storage resource or handling resource. And then finally, this is unit of measure conversion factor, and there if you maintain this, you can switch between your multiple units of measures like EA and cases and pallets and etc etc. So once you do all with this, and then we'll run it tomorrow, we'll run the heuristics. So and we will also fill up this, what would be the inputs and then what would be the outputs, and etc, and then we'll run it. Okay guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks guys, thanks for, sorry the session got extended. Yeah, we'll stick to the time from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks guys, thanks for your time, have a good day, bye.